It says a stream. Is it? Oh, we're live here now. Well, that's sort of interesting. Okay. Not quite sure why that worked, but let's see. Not quite sure why that one came up first. Chatbot, SQL Zoo, uh, data analytics. Okay, save. Okay, and we are now live. Good, good. Pop out chat. Let's minimize this. Okay. Well, I guess some news is that I did finally get access to the Bing chat. Uh, Although it isn't, although here at the main site, it really isn't that effective. It's hard to get really, it can't really find you uh, random site data science data, as far as I can tell. Uh, it's interesting when you use it inside of YouTube, okay, because you can actually do better searches inside of YouTube Bing window, okay. But anyway, so our task this evening is what? Well, our task this evening is to try to build a data science project using data from ChatBI or from ChatGPT and SQL. Okay, and as far as SQL, we're probably going to use SQL Server 2019. We may, of course, do some data cleaning inside of Excel. That's also a possibility. So here's our data here. Now, do we want to create a new database? Some of these I should probably just get rid of. Chip, our world in data, tables, commodity, pivot to COVID-19, deaths on 1,000, US COVID-19. Okay. Do we want to create a new database? Yes, let's new database. Let's call it, okay, there. All right. So first of all, we have to go over to chat. Hmm. Okay. New chat. Let's see. All right. CO2. Uh, let's regenerate. Okay, so here is some random data. Oh, it's not random. Here are some sample data points for the share of the population living in extreme poverty. So we can also check. Now, what's interesting about this is we should be able to actually copy and paste this data directly into an Excel spreadsheet. Now, ideally, this isn't the format we want the table in. Interesting. Okay. Apparently, they do have all their data now on. Okay. So we should be able to come over here like this. Now, what we can do is this. Okay. We can uh, connect it up directly to. We can directly download the data and import it directly out. So this really isn't a good design for a spreadsheet uh, because it can be very hard to calculate the totals. Let's do this. Let's do a quick save. Uh, let's come back over here. We can start with the sample. See if this works. Oops. Back over here again. Let's see if this will actually work. And you see what this is? This is a beautiful thing. It simply took and imported the table directly in. Okay, let's get rid of all of the percentage of things, since we know what it is. Okay, we know it's a percent, so that's okay. No, let's don't do that. Let's just let's change all these to lowercase. Make sure I'm actually got this right here. Yeah, we do. Okay, good. Okay, so this is the sample data right here. All right. Okay. Let's create a table. Right. Very nice table. Um, there. Okay. And what happens if you came over here? You did data from table range. And what we want is, okay, so what we want one row for each year and each one of these columns. So come over here. Well, let's make a copy of this. Let's see. Let's call it, I don't know. Let's call it, all right. Let's try this. Over here. Okay, so now we have one row for each variable and for each value. So this is what? Poverty rate? Okay. We're going to reformat this so that it's currency. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now I come back over here, right? And load. All right. Hmm. Okay. Now, now we got this. Let's see some. So here's the first one, 16 rows, sample. Okay. So now let's see if we can import some of this uh, directly into ChatGPT. Data source, Excel, browse. I don't know. Documents. Now the key is the advantage to using Excel is that you can format the data before you get in there, and you can do data cleaning. Because you saw me, we renamed the column types, and then I did an unpivot to pivot the table longer so that we have one row. Okay, one row for each year for each of the columns. So one row per year for GDP, one for each part of the world where the sample data is coming from. Uh, First row contains column names. that's interesting. Okay, let's take a look at. I could have put it in our world in data, right? But we're not. Well, I don't think we actually even need this. So you can see we can see the tabs here. All right, we can see the tabs here, the sheets here. Okay, which are down here. Let's try this. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Okay, so we did a little data cleaning down here. Okay, did a little data cleaning over here. Changed the title names. Used. I mean, came over here and we did a unpivot to give us a longer amount of data here. Okay, attribute. What do I call it? Oh, regions. Although global wasn't a region. Okay, so I don't really see any extra cleaning we can do there. Although we can, of course, just for the fun of it, uh, come over here, download poverty data, poverty code book. Okay, what is this data source from? The data explorer is correlated and adapted from the World Bank's poverty and inequality platform. Okay, World Bank's poverty, what's it? Poverty inequality data set, several surveys. Okay, income expenditure, data explorer. Okay, we can come back over here now. Let's try one more thing. Let's save this. New data. And this should give us the code book. Okay, that didn't work so well. Let's go raw. So we'll just create an Excel workbook. Okay, good. Back over here then. You know what? Let's just download this also. Let's go raw. So this just gives us a couple things here. I'm not sure what we use for or not. The code book. Now we download the actual data itself. Okay. Data set. raw. Wow. So you guys really did the ChatGPT really did give me a summary. Really did give me a summary. Okay. But this is actually a good way to organize your data by loading it into spreadsheets as long as there are not too many rows. So more to data again. Interesting. So how did it arrive at that? So the question is, how did it arrive at that sample? That's interesting. Also a very good question. Let's just take all these. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . And let's do change type currency. All right. Hmm. Let's load this. Okay. Okay. How do we get 2011.17? I'm sure there's a very good reason for that. I just don't see what it is. So how many rows do we have? 4,000, 4,878 rows. Surveys, survey, average, head count ratio, individual power line. Okay, so do we want to import the full data set? Why not? Why not? National, urban. What's the possible options here? Okay, blanks. What's the options here? Income blank. Hit survey. Not a very extensive survey, is it? Let's do this. Pip data. Let's come back over here. Edit. And let's convert year to an integer. There. Okay. So let's import one more. Let's import the PIP data set. Well, as I started to say, in order to import Excel files, you have to have the Microsoft Access 2016 engine installed. Okay, doesn't make a difference if you have Access 365. Uh, SQL Server uses the Access 2016 engine. Okay, and the advantage to using Excel spreadsheets, as you just saw, is formatting and some basic data wrangling. Okay, particularly the pivot functions, the implement functions. Okay. There we go. Okay, so hopefully that's it for this portion. We can take a look at the code book. Okay, code's more comparable spells of survey data, head count ratio, international poverty line, percent of population living in households with an income or expenditure per person below the national poverty line of $1.90 per day. Head count ratio, lower middle income, upper middle income. That's interesting. Okay. Head count ratio 100. Percent of population household with income or expenditure per person below 1. 10, 20, 30, so forth. Median. I hate to say it, but there really is a lot of really good data here. Okay. Okay. Let's close that for the moment and close this. Okay. Right tables. Okay, let's come up here, new query. Hey, how you doing, Rohit? How you doing this evening, huh? Is it Rohit? Rohit? Verna? Thanks for stopping by, friend. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit of SQL analytics. My uh, my weapon of choice is Chat AI. I'm sure you're familiar with. I begin by asking her, give me I said, give me a random data set from the R Walden data site. It said the population living in extreme poverty, a few stats there. I said, well, okay, give me data for the above data set. And it gave me a link. Okay. And I will just say that all of our Walden data sets as you can see, are located on GitHub. Okay. Then I said, well, give me the data. And it said 1990 to 2019. And I said, well, give me the data from 1990 to 20. I said, here's some sample data. Okay. All right. This is a sample. As you'll see, the actual table itself doesn't look like this. It's actually with it's a whole bunch of columns out there. Okay. And so I wound up with what I was able to do is with GitHub, okay, with Excel, I was able to copy and paste this table in with one table. Then I was able to use the data function in Power Query to import the data, which is a CSV file, directly into Excel. Okay. So what are you up to this evening, friend? Okay, and here's the worksheet. Okay, here's the uh, here's the original table. Okay, this was the original. This was the table I originally cut and pasted in from ChatGPT. Then I pulled it into Power Query and I converted it into a table like this. Okay. Then I use the unpivot function and I unpivoted, so it gives me one row for each of the values that I'm gonna call them regions, and for each year. And this is the rate I believe of people uh, living below the poverty line, which is defined I think as like less making less than or equal to $1.90 per day. Okay. Of course, global is a little bit funky. That's the total for everything. But you can look here. You can see that South Africa, its population is uh, is higher. In sub-Saharan Africa, the percentage of population below the poverty line is higher than the global average. Okay, and you can see these various things down here. Europe, Central Asia, on one hand, is less than the global standard, and so forth. So you have 1 year for each one of these regions or variables. Okay, and then I got and here's the main data set here. Okay, and again I came over here the data from text CSV, and I simply cut and pasted. As you can see, that the link from 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 the Our World in Data's site on GitHub. Okay, and I was able to import this entire table in here. Right. Then I did a little bit of cleaning up here. I I fixed the some of the years had like a decimal point, like 1998.4. Well, I got rid of that. What you can do, let's go over here and let's import this data in to into a into a. Well, you know what? That's dumb. Let's let's have a little fun with SQL. Okay, we've done a little data ring. Let's go over and let's change some of these column types. Okay, on uh, on SQL. Okay, because you can see from here on over, these are all actually percentages. Okay, but we want to convert this into a decimal type. I'm thinking, and see, we can convert this into a decimal type in Power Query. Okay. Now the trouble, of course, it would be easier to change them all here, right? We can pull them into Power Query and just change all the columns right there. But hey, where's the fun in that? This is about discard. Okay, good. Now I think I've already. Let's do a save here. Let's see. Let's go over here. Did I import the poverty rate over here? Poverty data set. So let's do this. Let's do a select star from poverty data set. Okay. So over here you can see this over here. So wait, now this is going to be kind of nasty because we do have a lot of columns to try to fix here. Okay. And let's save this. Let's just save this. Documents, ChatGPT. Okay. So now we come over to one of my favorite sites. That is Tech on the Web. Okay. And I'm using SQL Server 2019 and SQL Server alter table because we're altering an existing table. So this is pretty straightforward. So I'm not quite sure how to do this. So I'm not quite sure what the actual data types supported are. Okay, that's the question. Um, oh shoot, is there a decimal type? Oh, let's go over here. Ah, you piece of crap. Oh, you piece of crap. Yeah, this thing keeps timing out on me a little bit. Now, you may be interested, I actually got, are you on the waiting list for the Bing Plus by chance? There it is. Hmm. Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, we're not going to have 10 spaces on the end of a decimal, but that's okay. So then come over here. Let's just try this now. Now, I want to point out that if you're interested in SQL, this tech on the website is an excellent site. I use this. I used to use this all the time. Although, as you can see, ChatGPT could become my favorite tool. Yeah, I suggest that you actually bookmark that site. So, you got that. Oh, okay. Good. So it's property data set. Okay, so let's see if this works. Okay, good. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Let's come back down here then. Now, like I said, we could go back in and just alter them in Excel, but we're just going to use this as a demonstration of how to do this, and because you see, we got a lot of we got a lot of columns here, a lot of columns here. Okay, we'll just do a couple of just to give a couple of demonstrations. Okay. All right. There. So we now demonstrated so we now demonstrated a skill how to alter a table type. Just a couple here. Let's see. So this is mid-income. So tell me, friend, are you a data analyst? What's your current status here? Oh, okay. So we did a couple things here, and there's also a nice long some nice long. So what does this mean? As you can see, there's lots and lots of columns over here. Can you imagine if we took that and pivoted that longer so we have one row for each country for each year and for each column type? Okay, so we got a little bit of work done there. Let's come back over now. Let's look at the property sample. Okay, this was the original data set, which you saw on the web page. Okay, and this looks okay. I mean, we could come in here, of course, and alter these, but that's all right. These are fine. These are percentages. So this would be the global is 36%. You can so Sub-Saharan Africa as a higher than average poverty rate. Latin America and Caribbean has less than a national global rate, and so forth. Okay. Then I came back over here and I used the unpivot function in Excel to create a pivot longer. So what we have now with this longer function, we have okay, one row for each attribute. Okay, so there's one for global, one for all 99, all these here, all right, and so forth. All right. So the question is this. Let's see. Excellent. The question is, can ChatGPT, oh, hang on, I'll be right back. Hold that thought. Okay. I'm actually on a diet program in the U.S. called Nutrisystems. And so far, according to my skill, I've lost like 24 pounds, although I don't see it when I look in the mirror. But anyway, it's time for my 10 o'clock snack. There we go. And we'll have a little bit of a carrot cake here. So our objective is to, yeah, this is supposedly carrot cake. But it probably hasn't seen a carrot in its entire life. Hmm. Has a little cream cheese filling on it, I guess. Not bad. So, Rohit, are you still with me there, friend? Be sure to click that bell icon to be notified when I go live. My general streaming schedule is Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's New York City time, U.S. East Coast time. But I've been doing a few afternoon streams also. Uh, I'm trying to reach that magic 4,000 watch hour on YouTube, which will make me, if I understand correctly, eligible for monetization. Okay. Well, thanks so much. So, uh, tell me about yourself. Where do you live? Are you a programmer, data analyst, data scientist, student? Where you live and what's your current situation? This app isn't too bad. No, that's actually not too bad. India, okay. Are you in India right now? Okay. So what time is it in India? A technical recruiter, you mean? Okay. So can it create, can it create SQL for us? And yes, it does look like it can. Okay. So here are two examples. Hokey smoke bullwinkle. Okay, that's one. Okay, hey, can you give me a job? I'm only half serious. Okay, this, this SQL looks pretty doggone good to me. So are you a university student then? This is interesting. You know what they're going to do? I think they're going to produce. Interesting. So here they're doing a select, right? From poverty, where year is 2010, group by year. Average global. So why are they doing an average if they're only pulling 1 year worth of data? Okay. Average share of population living in poverty by region for a given year. Yeah, it's kind of odd. It's like, why are you grouping by year if you only pull in 1 year's worth of data? Okay. Average share of population living in poverty by region for a given year. Hmm. I'm sure it's going to work. Okay. This escrow code calculates the average share of the population living in extreme poverty by region for the year 2010. Well, you know why they have to do this? Because they're using an aggregate function, okay? And it's got to be accurate by even if you only do an aggregate by one, okay, you still have to do it. Okay. Uh, Here, it uses the poverty data table and aggregates the data using the average function to calculate the average share of population living in poverty for each region. This result will show the average. Well, let's see what happens here, shall we? You know what it is? It's this. Okay. So what's going to happen here with this? Let's see. Oh, okay. They're pulling from the main data table, right? Hmm, that's interesting. Poverty sample. So that the data set, make sure we ask the question what we're looking for. Give me two examples of SQL reports using the sample data above. Now again, this hobby, it is an interesting use of the aggregate function calls. You only pull in 1 year, and right, and this will this give us a column? We've already got columns. These are all columns, right? Okay. Well, let's come back over here. Change this to poverty sample. Does this have a year on it? Year. Oh, you know what the trouble is? All these things over here have different column names. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We're pulling an average for each column, right? We could use the pivot longer table there and just do the attribute, you know, and group by year with the rate. Okay, we'll do this anyway. We need to, let's see, average global. Did I rename these over here? Okay, what can we do here? I wonder if we could come back over here. Anyway, okay, so are you a college student? Are you in university? What's your current, what you, what's your current, what's how you learning data analytics? Are you taking the Google certification program by chance? So I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna grab the headings, uh, and see what, and rerun this query, right? So where's our sample? Here's our new headings. We could of course just re-import the data, right? But hey, where's the fun in that? Percentage change in the share of the population living. Notice we're using the case function here. This one could be more interesting, actually. This one could be more interesting. Interesting. Create table. Okay, yeah, very good. We don't actually want to do this. Let's do this. No, no, no. You got to use the new column names. You got to use the new column names. Okay. So, so when did you create? When did you complete the Google Coursera data analysis course? Oh, you guys, you guys. No, I don't want to use that. The columns are already lowercase. This is going to be kind of a long way around this, but it should work anyway. I think basically what we're doing, I just completed the case study for, oh, good. Okay. That's kind of what I'm doing here tonight. This is sort of a portfolio slash project of some type. Um, so for your capstone project, did you do the psycholinguistics project? any better? Okay, I'll stick closer to the computer then. So did you do the cyclistic bike share project? It's probably because I don't actually have a regular microphone. I'm just using the one of these days I should maybe I should change the Droid cam and also use the audio. Let's try that. Okay, poverty sample. Oops. Huh. Well, it gave us this. I wonder why it. Let's get rid of eater. Okay, yeah. So this doesn't necessarily make any sense. Although this is correct. This would be the average. Okay, I wasn't thinking clearly. Yeah. Uh, there's one row for each year, right? So did you do the cyclistic bike share? Uh, let's take a look here. Okay. Um, a couple of data sources. Uh, ChatGPT is a wealth of information. I got this original sample data set by saying, give me a random data set from our world in data. And it gave me a sample data set, not a full one, but a sample data set. You can also see that I'm using it to write SQL with. Now, other our world in data is a phenomenal site. Lots of uh, social related data sets, poverty and disease and stuff like that. Another one, if you're interested in economic data, you can look for FRED, uh, the Fred.gov. It's a Federal Reserve economic. It's a Federal Reserve economic data site on there. But again, you can go to ChatGPT and say, give me some random economic data for the U.S. And it'll give you some sample data for the U.S. And it'll even tell you where it's located at, where you can find the data. Okay. What's another one? Oh, Kaggle. You should be familiar with Kaggle. Uh, you can use ChatGPT to help you put together a project. Like I'm using to write some SQL here. But the thing is this, we only have one row per year. Okay, so we got this here. And the question is, which of these countries is below the global poverty level. Okay. Very good. I'm glad you found my videos helpful. Yeah. So are you on LinkedIn? Do you have a profile up on LinkedIn? Now. Okay, good. Uh, have you started putting together an online portfolio? Of course, they kind of went through that a little bit in the course. Yeah, so this up here doesn't make any sense because there's only one road for each year. So we're not really averaging anything because we're only averaging 1 year because we were only pulling 1 year at a time. Okay, so what this would be then, 1 year, but it's still only 1 year at a time. So it doesn't really make any sense. But you have to group by something, don't you? But does that really change anything? We got year one global. Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to do an average because there's only one row for each year. But I suppose you have to group it by something. uh, okay, so that's one query we can look at. Okay, maybe this will be a little more interesting. Yeah, this first query, while it works, it doesn't make any sense because we only have one row for each year. So what's the point of grouping by year if you only got one row for each year? Okay. Now it would make sense when we use the pivot longer table, okay? Because you're going to have one row for each year for each attribute for each column, okay? So we can do an average by the year for the entire group of people, okay? We'll try to fix this one up here also, right? This SQL report calculates the average share of population living in extreme poverty by the region for the year 2010. Well, it doesn't really say that. Wait, okay, this report calculates the percentage change in the share of the population living in extreme poverty by region between years 1990 and 20. So it uses the poverty table and calculates the difference between. This says the entire poverty table. Let's see. Right, but it's still okay. Let's come back up here. You know what? Let's do. Let's pull this query a into Notepad. So here's some stuff I was kind of doing with my resume slash portfolio or something like that. Okay, over here. Uh, have you got any hits on your any interest on your profile on LinkedIn? Uh, have you got any interest on your profile on LinkedIn? If you have got some interest, have you talked to any recruiters on LinkedIn? What region? What region? Okay, that would be right then. Yeah, region would be um, At one point, I was getting a little bit of interest, but it's really kind of died down after a while. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, getting the first job is really hard to do. Uh, you have to search for like entry level jobs. Uh, how long have you been a recruiter? Okay, so here's this here, and it says group by region. A year, okay. You have a college degree? We don't have regions here. Well, you know where this one would work at with the pivot longer. What's your college degree in? See, it's saying region, but these are actually the regions. Okay, and again, they're only pulling out 1 year, which is still kind of strange. Let's see some here, because the columns are the regions. Okay, now the answer could be uh, poverty longer. Okay, because you got year, you got the various functions here. So let's try that. In commerce, and it has a region. So how did it come up with these queries here? Okay, want to group by region. Okay, but these are region. I don't think this is going to work, but let's see what happens because there is no region in the sample table. Yeah, see, that doesn't, I don't know where they're coming up with this with this query at, but it doesn't make any sense. What would happen if we, okay, if we were to use, I say, I don't understand what they're trying to do here. Uh, because the data I provided, they gave us didn't have a region, that the columns were the region. Global, global, global. Yeah, and this one up here doesn't make any sense either. Let's take a look at poverty longer. Okay. Yeah. So this doesn't make any sense. And this is interpreting these as one of the, yeah, but this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so these are columns, part of the poverty table. but we don't have a region column in the table. Okay, right? There is no, you got country, okay? I mean, yeah, it looks like it's trying to create a table. Uh, oh man, I forgot to change the year. Yeah, because these, there is no region name in the sample. Okay, that's the problem. Right? Here's columns, uh, but there's no region. So well, you can do an average by year. Let's try that. I'm not sure. Group by what? Can't group by region because there isn't a region. I mean, we can come down here, select region, comma, so it looks like it is looking for column names there. Hmm. But again, there's only going to be one row for 2019 and 2021. Yeah, this is one of those times where I figure out, you know what, maybe you don't want to go into the data analytics after all. I started out with high hopes of actually doing something, fairly productive. Now I'm here, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Group region. Okay, let's try something a little crazy here. Let's um, let's go with a different data frame. Let's give them 20 records. No, no, the table's already created. Now we can certainly do this just for the fun of it, right? Why not? We're not making much progress as it is right now, so we might as well try to go along with it here. Good. Very good. Let's just see how this looks. Okay. Good. Okay. Sure. Here you go. Average. Now, here's the problem. Again, this doesn't make any sense because you only pull in one. How can you can't do an average? Well, that's not true. You can do an average for all the regions for 1 year. Okay, that's okay. I'll give it that. Okay, but this doesn't make any sense because there's only going to be one row for each region. Okay, and we'll see what happens. Suppose we get rid of this where clause. Hmm. Okay, that got a little bit of results. It's a little better. What about this next one? Oh, look at this. We're doing a window function. Very nice, very nice. Okay. This SQL report calculates the average poverty rate for each region in the year of 1990. The select statement selects the region and the average poverty rate for each region. The from statement uh, specifies the poverty rate table. The where clause filters the data to the only include records of 1990. You know, it's always helpful to accomplish something as you go along. Okay, so lag, I believe, means take the previous value from the current row. Within row 2, it's going to take the value from row 1. Partition by region, order by year, lag. Oh, look at this. We got a double over command. Oh, man. Okay, let's see what happens here. Change in poverty rate by region over time. Interesting. Don't have two reports for Central Asia. So what this tells us is the poverty rate between 1992, most of these countries didn't really change that much. Asia went from 0.0194 to 0.0198. Interesting. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good, good, good. This SQ report selects the top 5 regions, the highest poverty rate, 1990. Okay, but there's only going to be one row for each region. Okay, this SQ report calculates the average poverty rate for all regions for each year. That makes sense. So what do you think? Do you think ChatGPT is a good tool a good data analytics tool then? So for 1990, uh, uh, well, East Asia and Pacific had the highest poverty rate, 0.6, 60.2% of the population apparently, which was higher. Well, of the top four regions, three of them were higher than the three of them were higher than the global average. But suppose we get rid of this. Can we get the bottom slide? Global wins 0.36. Yep, here we go. Sub-Saharan Africa. So these three here had to have three to four had to have had a poverty rate below the global average. Okay, good. Nothing tricky, but you know it's still not a bad report. Where what? So let's do this. So we actually want this rate without the global one. There, okay. Now let's just see if we can get a little mischief over here, okay? Let's see what we can do with this one here. No, look at this. Nothing like a little, nothing like nothing like a little subquery to get ourselves going, is there? So how are you doing with your so what projects are you working on right now? Have you done any SQL portfolio projects or any well for your capstone project? What did you use? What tool did you use? Did you use Tabular or Excel? R program? What did you use? Oh, this isn't good. Huh. Oh, this isn't good. Oh no. Everything's locked up. There we go. That was kind of strange. Save changes. Why is that open? There's close that. All right. So uh, what regions have a higher poverty rate than the global average? Did I get everything? Uh-oh, this isn't good. Hmm. Hmm. And there we have it. Here are the here is the so here are the regions that have whose poverty rate is above the is above the global average. Okay, interesting. We get several values, so this isn't. No, I don't know. I guess this is work, but we don't know what year these actually are, do we? Huh, okay. Nonetheless, this gives us an answer, and it looks right. com, have you have you read about common table expressions? Okay. Let me give you a link to one of my favorite there we are. Let's see. By the way, be sure to invite 10 of your friends along to join the next stream. Okay, dated dev, bearded dev, bearded dev. Hmm. Oh, here he is. Here you go. Bearded Dev has a lot of really good SQL videos up there. It's been kind of quiet the last couple of months, but oh, I may have just disconnected myself. I guess I'm all right. There we go. Okay. So this basically does the same thing as the previous square. So, but it's using what's called a common table expression, which in my experience is a little bit easier to understand in a subquery. So first of all, so we perform the top part first. All right, as well, we're creating a global CT average CT as select average poverty as global average from poverty rates where region is this. Select region poverty rate from poverty rates, join global average CTE on, okay. Let's see if this gives us the same results. Yep, it does. 36% again, poverty rate, global poverty rate, all these are above it, okay? And with that, Uh, Rohit, I'm going to go and call it a night. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope to see you on the stream tomorrow sometime, or either tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. Thanks so much for sharing part of your story with me. Also, good luck with that data analyst career. Okay. 18